Well, alright everybody, we are back with another episode of TEW 9, the War of Immortals save. We are here with our second ever episode of WWFC Primetime Wrestling. So we'll take a quick look at last week's episodes. We had Rugged Ronnie Garvin defeat Tully Blanchard on a pre-show. We had Vince McMahon welcome everybody to the new show. We had Andre versus Big John Studd. The New Horsemen cut a promo about their win at WrestleMania. Demolition defeated the Body Donnas. Harley Race says he's here to make an impact, and it's going to happen soon. The Texas Tornado defeated Bad News Brown. Bobby Heenan talking about his other managerial clients, the Islanders. Then we had the New Horsemen, Barry Windham and Sid Vicious take on, and the Midnight Express take on the Killer Bees and the Fabulous Freebirds. We had Roddy Piper talk about how he wants to be the first WWFC champion. Then we had Strikeforce defeat the Islanders. We had Hogan cut a promo about the tag team match. Then we had Piper take on Arn Anderson. Jim Cornette talking about how he told everybody that the Midnight Express was the greatest tag team ever. Then we had Hogan and Harley Race take on Bam Bam and Big John Studd. So that was last week's episode. Let's see if we could top that. So I will be right back. I'm going to book the show, and then we'll hop right into everything. We are back. If we have the show all booked up, let's head in and let's start with our first pre-show match. In a decent pre-show match, Tully Blanchard defeated Ken Patera in 10:06 by pinfall with a slingshot suplex. The crowd heat is expectant and simmering. The wrestling rating got a 66, the crowd rating got a 53, and the segment got a 72. So Ken Patera had an in-ring performance of 62. Tully Blanchard had a 70. Ken debuted his powerhouse gimmick, and it got an initial rating of very good. Tony Schiavone debuted his staff member gimmick, and it got an adequate. The commentary quality lifted the match, and the color commentary gave it a boost. So let's head to our next pre-show match. Not very bad. In a decent pre-show match, Demolition defeated Strikeforce in 9:35 when Demolition Axe pinned Tito Santana with the Demolition Decapitation. The crowd heat was expectant and simmering. The wrestling rating was in 70. The crowd rating was a 57. The segment got a 72. Demolition Smash had a 59. Demolition Axe had a 82. Tito had a 62. Rick Martel had a 75. It advanced the Islanders and Demolition storyline. It also advanced the Strikeforce and Bob Orton and Don Morocco storyline. Axe and Smash showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Tito and Rick showed excellent chemistry teaming together, and Rick and Tito got a tag team specialist bonus. So let's head into the first segment of the night, which got an 80. So as we start off the show, the camera pans to the announce desk where we see Bobby Heenan as our color commentator for the night and Tony Schiavone as the play-by-play. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another action-packed episode of WWFC Primetime Wrestling. We have an incredible lineup tonight, and I can't wait to get into it, Bobby. You've got to admit, this is one of the most stacked cards we've ever had. Stacked? Oh, please, Schiavone. What we've got is a night full of stars who are going to overshadow by one thing: the brilliance of the New Horsemen. But go ahead. Let's tell these humanoids what they can expect tonight, even if they don't deserve it. All right, let's start with our opening contest. Well, that's not actually the opening match. At its finest as the Midnight Express, managed by Jim Cornette, take on the Fantastics. That's right, Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton. Bobby, I know you're close with Cornette. Can the Midnight Express prove their dominance tonight? Are you kidding? The Fantastics are good, Schiavone. but the Midnight Express are great. Jim Cornette has those guys running like a well-oiled machine. The Fantastics are going to find out why. The Express are destined to be the first ever WWFC World Tag Team Champions. Well, we'll see if they can back up Cornette's words. Next, our huge six-man tag team main event. Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper, and Harley Race team up to take on the New Horsemen. Barry Windham, Sid Vicious, and Arn Anderson, Bobby. This could get out of hand and get out of hand fast. Get out of hand, Shivani. This match is going to be a masterclass from the New Horsemen. You've got Sid, the enforcer Arn Anderson, and the genius Barry Windham. Hogan and Piper are relics, and Harley Race, he's past his prime. My money's on the Horseman taking this one. We'll find out if experience or arrogance wins today. Then we've got the fabulous Freebirds Michael P.S. Hayes and Terry Bam Bam Gordy facing the rough and tumble duo of Cowboy Bob Orton and Don Morocco. This one's sure to be a brawl. Now that's a match I can't wait for. The Freebirds are legends, but Orton and Morocco are as tough as they come. If the Freebirds don't watch their backs, this could be over before it even starts. And finally, in a tag team showdown, Rugged Ronnie Garvin teams with Genichiro Tenryu to take on Greg the Hammer Valentine and the giant Big John Studd. Bobby, this one could be the sleeper match of the night. Sleeper, are you kidding me? Big John Studd alone will dominate this match. Tenryu may be a big deal over in Japan, but this is the WWFC, and Greg Valentine is going to show why they call him the Hammer. Garvin and Tenryu are out of their leagues. Well, there you have it, folks. 4 incredible matches on tonight's card, including the blockbuster 6-man tag team match. But don't go anywhere, because our WWFC Primetime Wrestling is about to explode into action. So, the crowd at the end is hot and rising. The segment got an 80. It advanced all the primetime stories. The angle got the crowd hotter, and the angle got the show off to a great start. So, we are going to jump in with our first match, which is the Rugged Ronnie Garvin and Genichiro Tenryu taking on Greg the Hammer Valentine and Big John Studd. In a decent match, Rugged Ronnie Garvin and Genichiro Tenryu defeated Greg Valentine and Big John Studd in 12 minutes and 26 seconds when Tenryu pinned Greg the Hammer Valentine with a powerbomb. So the crowd is hot. The wrestling rating was a 57. The crowd rating got a 61. The segment got a 67. Tenryu had an in-ring performance of 59. Garvin had a 52. Big John Studd had a 61. Valentine had a 57. Tenryu debuted his legend gimmick and it got an initial rating of very good. It advanced the Greg Valentine and Ronnie Garvin storyline. The commentary lifted the match. The color commentary gave the match a boost. And Teddy Long did some good work at ringside. So we will head into our next promo, which is Jim Cornette talking about the Midnight Express. So the scene cuts backstage to Jim Cornette standing with the tennis racket in his hand, flanked by the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton, and Stan Lane. Well, here we are, primetime wrestling, the home of the best of the best. And what better way to kick things off than with a brand new set of titles, the WWFC World Tag Team titles. Now I hear all these teams flapping their gums, talking about how they're going to be the first ever champions. Well, let me tell you something. The Midnight Express are not just some tag team. Oh, no. They're a machine. Bobby Eaton, the man can fly higher than a fighter jet. Stan Lane, slicker than a greased lightning bolt in the middle of a hurricane. Together, they're unstoppable. And while these so-called teams are out here trying to figure out how to work together, we've already got the formula for success. We've dominated everywhere else, and now it's time to add the WWFC World Tag Team titles to the legacy. Bobby and Stan nod confidently as Cornette continues on. So to every team out there, whether it's the Islanders, those tag team champions over on Superstars, the Rougeaus, and any other wannabes, take notes. When the smoke clears and the dust settles, the Midnight Express will be standing tall as the first ever WWFC World Tag Team Champions, and trust me, nobody does it better than us. Primetime Wrestling has just become Midnight Wrestling. The gold is as good as ours. So the crowd is white hot. The segment got a 70. Primetime Killer Bees and the Midnight Express advanced. Jim Cornette came across well. He did a masterful job improvising interactions with the crowd. The commentary lifted it, the color commentary lifted it, and the angle got the crowd hotter. So we are going to head in to our first tag team matchup of our tag team tournament to determine the World Tag Team Champions. It's going to be the Midnight Express taking on the Fantastics. Hey, not bad, not bad. In a bout that had superb wrestling and little heat, the Midnight Express defeated the Fantastics in 15-15 when Bobby Eaton pinned Tommy Rogers with the rocket launcher. Bobby Eaton carried the match in terms of ring work. Not surprising. And this match was a part of the WWFC World Tag Team Championship Tournament. So the crowd is very hot. The wrestling rating was a 53. The crowd rating was a 39. And the segment got a 70. Tommy Rogers had a 43. Bobby Fulton had a 48. Stan Lane had a 49. And Bobby Eaton had a 74. So Bobby Fulton debuted as Prima Donna gimmick, and it got an initial rating of great. Tommy Rogers debuted the clean cut gimmick, and it got an adequate. It advanced the Killer Bees and Midnight Express storyline. Says that the Fantastics seemed off their game. Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane showed excellent chemistry teaming together. The commentary quality lifted the match. The color commentary gave it a boost. Jim Cornette did good work at ringside. Both Stan and Bobby have good chemistry with Jim Cornette, and the match got the crowd buzzing. So let's head off to our next segment. So the screen fades in on Greg Valentine standing in a dimly lit locker room, arms folded, his trademark scowl etched across his face as he adjusts his black and red robe before glaring into the camera. You know, I've had just about enough of Ronnie Garvin, that loudmouth, so-called hands of stone. He's been a thorn in my side for too long, week after week. Match after match, he keeps coming back like a bad penny that just won't go away. Garvin, you want to step toe-to-toe with the Hammer again? Fine. But understand this, I'm done playing around. I'm sick and tired of you sticking your nose in my business, thinking you got what it takes to hang with me. You may have hands of stone, Garvin, but I've got arms of iron and a heart that's as cold as ice. I'm going to show you why they call me the Hammer. When I lock in that figure four, you'll be begging for mercy. I'm not just coming to beat you, Garvin. I'm coming to put you down for good. No more comebacks. No more rematches. When I'm through with you, they'll be scraping you off the mat. You've been a pest for far too long, and here on Prime Time, I'm ending this once and for all, Garvin. You better be ready for the beating of your life because the hammer is swinging, and you're about to get nailed. So the crowd is very hot. The segment got a 72, which is a lot better than I thought. It advanced the Valentine Garvin storyline. The color commentary gave it a boost. So let's hop in to the next match. In a decent match, Bam Bam Bigelow defeated Tommy Rich in 1301 by pinfall with the greetings from Asbury Park. The crowd is very hot still. The wrestling rating was a 59. The crowd rating was a 52. The segment got a 75. Bam Bam had an in-ring performance of 66. Tommy Rich had a 52, which is, man, it is what it is. Tommy Rich debuted his old school face gimmick, and it got an initial rating of very good. It advanced the Harley Race versus Bam Bam storyline. The creative finish I picked was a success. The commentary quality lifted the match. The color commentary gave it a boost. So we're doing pretty good. We're getting a pretty good show out of this, which is a lot better than what I could say for last week. It was only saved by a couple of segments that we had. So let's head in to our next promo. Oh, finally, another good promo from him. Well, you know something, brothers and sisters? I've stood in this ring more times than I can count, looking out at all the Hulkamaniacs, feeling the energy, the love, the passion. But tonight, I've got something to say that's been weighing heavy on the Hulksters' hearts. In just a few months, in the end of June, this red and yellow freight train is leaving the station for a little while. That's right, Hulk Hogan's heading to Hollywood, brother. I got a new movie to film, and I gotta take that big screen by storm, just like we've taken the wrestling world by storm. But let me tell you something, dudes. I'm not just gonna miss climbing in the ring. I'm gonna miss each and every one of you Hulkamaniacs. You've been there for me through thick and thin, cheering me on, lifting me up, and giving me the strength to fight for what's right. And don't think for one second that the Hulkster's gonna go in soft, because over these next few months, brother, I'm gonna give you everything I've got. I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna train, and I'm gonna leave it all in this ring. Because when you're a Hulkamaniac, you never back down, you never quit, and you always say your prayers and eat your vitamins. So whether it's taking down the New Horsemen, standing side by side with my brothers, or making sure these 24-inch pythons leave a lasting impression, Hulkamania isn't going anywhere, brother. And when this movie's done, when the cameras stop rolling, the Hulkster's going to be back right here to primetime wrestling, brother, because this is my home. This is where I belong. So to all my Hulkamaniacs out there, let's make these next few months unforgettable. What you gonna do when Hollywood Hogan and all the Hulkamaniacs run wild on you? So the crowd is very hot. It got a 90. I didn't put Hogan in any storylines because he is leaving, and I didn't want to just start something up and then him just leave on me. So let's head to the next match. I didn't think it was going to do very good. In a decent match, the Texas Tornado defeated Kamala in 12:01 by pinfall. The crowd's very hot. The wrestling rating was a 53 or 56. The crowd rating was a 57. The segment got a 67. The Texas Tornado had an in-ring performance of 63. Kamala had a 49. It advanced the Barry Windham Texas Tornado storyline. The Texas Tornado and Kamala have pretty good chemistry, and it lifted the match. The commentary gave it a lift. The color commentary gave it a boost, and Colonel Robert Parker did some good work at ringside. So let's head to our next promo. You know what? That's actually a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. So the camera cuts to Bam Bam standing in front of a backdrop. Primetime wrestling has just become the prime time for domination. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the man who's going to take this place by storm. The beast from the east, Bam Bam Bigelow. And it all starts with Harley Race. Harley Race, you've been around a long time. You've held gold, you've fought wars, but your time has come and gone, and now it's my time. Prime time belongs to Bam Bam Bigelow. You're just the first in a long line of names I'm gonna leave laying in that ring. Harley, I respect what you've done, but tonight, respect gets thrown out the window. Bam Bam doesn't care about your accolades or your legacy. All he sees is a target, and when he gets through with you, there won't be anything left but dust and memories. Race, you're stepping into the ring with a monster. A monster who doesn't stop, who doesn't quit, who doesn't care who's in his way. Tonight, I'm putting you down and making sure the whole world knows that primetime wrestling belongs to Bam Bam Bigelow. Get ready, Race, because it's the end of the line for you and the start of a fiery path of destruction. At the center of it all is the future of primetime wrestling. Bam Bam Bigelow. The beast is unleashed, baby. So the crowd's very hot. The segment got a 70. It advanced the Bam Bam and Harley Race storyline. Bam Bam enjoyed having the freedom to go off script. So did Sir Oliver Humperdinck. Uh, Gene Okerlund improvised well. The color commentary gave it a boost. The commentary gave it a boost. So let's head to our next match. In a decent match, Cowboy Bob Orton and Magnificent Morocco defeated the Fabulous Freebirds in 14-10 when Bob Orton pinned Michael Hayes. Michael Hayes was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everybody. Oh boy, was he. And this match was also a part of the WWFC World Tag Team Championship Tournament. The crowd's very hot. The wrestling rating was a 60. The crowd was a 54. The segment was a 72. Don Morocco had an in-ring performance of 65. Bob Orton had a 60. Terry Gordy had a 66. And Michael Hayes had a 48. Our new referee, Billy Silverman, debuted his staff member gimmick, and it got a great. The storyline between Strikeforce and Bob Orton and Morocco advanced. Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy showed excellent chemistry teaming together. The commentary quality lifted the match, and the color commentary gave it a boost. So, if Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy showed excellent chemistry, and Michael Hayes only gave a 48, I wonder what would happen if they didn't have excellent chemistry. Well, anyways, let's head to our next segment, which got an 84. Ooh, yeah. So Bobby has left the commentary desk. Let me tell you something right now. It's an absolute insult, a travesty of justice that my man Barry Windham isn't being handed the WWFC United States Championship on a silver platter. I mean, come on. Look at this man. He's the perfect representation for this title. Pure class, pure talent, and pure domination. You don't earn greatness like this. It's in your blood. And instead of doing the right thing, instead of crowning the most deserving superstar in this entire company, what do? They're forcing Barry Windham to fight that no-good, overrated cowboy wannabe, the Texas Tornado. The Tornado, give me a break. This man who is all flash and no substance, he spins around a couple of times and throws a punch. Big deal. Barry is a wrestling machine, a thinking man's athlete. The Tornado doesn't deserve to share the same ring as Barry, let alone compete for the prestigious United States Championship. Texas Tornado, you've been riding a lucky streak so far for far too long. But luck isn't going to save you when you step into the ring with me. I'm not just going to beat you, I'm going to embarrass you. And when it's all said and done, everyone will know why I'm the true United States champion. You heard it straight from the man himself. The Texas Tornado might as well stay in the eye of the storm and not even show up, because when Barry Windham gets through with him, there'll be nothing left but a faint breeze. Mark my words, the United States Championship is coming home to the Horsemen. where it belongs. So the crowd at the end is very hot. The segment got an 84. Bobby Heenan was really good. Um, and he also enjoyed having the freedom to go off script, and he performed really well. So let's head to our final match of the night, which is the big 6-man tag team match. No, that's not too bad. In a superb match, Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, and Harley Race defeated the New Horsemen, Arn, Barry, and Sid in 1955 when Roddy Piper pinned Barry Windham. The crowd is very hot. The wrestling rating was an 80. The crowd rating was a 78. And the segment got an 80. Sid had an in-ring performance of 77. Barry Windham had a 74. Arn had a 77. Harley Race had a 76. Hulk Hogan had a 91. Roddy Piper had an 85. It advanced the Sid versus Roddy storyline, the Barry Windham versus Texas Tornado storyline, the Harley Race and Bam Bam storyline, uh, the Roddy Piper creative finish that I gave it was a failure, and Hulk Hogan is getting better at his gimmick. So let's check out our finish. Oh, that's not too bad. So we had a segment where Bam Bam ran out of the ring and he just laid out Harley Race, hit him with the greetings from Asbury Park. So the crowd is very hot. The color commentary gave it a boost. Bam Bam's getting better at his gimmick. And the segment got a 73. So let's finish off the show. No, we got an 81. That's not bad. So the overall is an 81. The show increased our popularity in 8 regions, and we would have gained 1 in Canada, but we were limited to the number of viewers that we had there. The financial report, oh boy, we made over $1 million on that show. So let's check out the recap. So we went to 62 in British Columbia. So that's the only adjustment that we got there. So that's not too bad. So that is the end of this episode. I will see you all in the next one.